BiTComms! We're looking at fantasy football. What is going on? It looks like they're telling me that the BiTCrew that we have an even heat over here, but I see that Butker is out, so that's going to change the points for me for sure. Evans is questionable, but I need to see what he's questionable for. But showing 0 points for kicker means that he's probably out for the game. Yeah. Officially listed out. Yeah. So we got to drop. So we got to go pick him up. We're gonna do that right now. Well, what's going on, BiTComms? Let's look at all the matchups for fantasy this week. Let's go ahead and go to my team and add player. Okay. We are looking for position kicker. Refresh. And okay, here we go. Again, wouldn't be a kicker that I would pick up normally. What did it show this season? Hold on, that's what I want to see. This season, what does he have for points already? Two made at 50 plus. Okay. So what we do is, we hit the plus sign, and we are going to drop our kicker. I mean, I could just probably pick up the other kicker for them, but that's okay. That's not what I want to do. Okay, so now he's on the bench. Move him to that slot. All right. Only Mike Evans is questionable. So let's look at that real quick. As you guys know, dress to impress, even if it's for yourself. I'm Biggy T. This is Biggy TV. Okay, let's look. He's just questionable for the. Yeah, I think who could we pick up off our bench? Oh yeah, I just want to go to my team. What we could do actually is we can move Debo into that slot. And then we can move Zeke at Cincinnati or Josh Jacobs at Arizona. Interesting. Probably moving Russell in this week. Keep it in Stephon. Debo's in now. Obviously keep it in Taylor and Mixon. Hawkinson staying in and maybe moving. I don't know if we should move Zeke to Evans' spot. Who's he facing? Cincinnati? I don't think Cincinnati has a great defense, right? Am I wrong? Where do I move Josh Jacobs? How about this? Do I have anybody that's playing tonight that I have to worry about? No. So we can kind of mess with this maybe tomorrow some more. We'll leave it there. But I think this is how we beat J-Chat right here. I think we're good. That's how we do it. So. Yeah, I think San Francisco D picks up more points this weekend than people project. I think they're going to do a better job of holding Geno Smith. Evans, I think, is fine for now. If he plays, he plays. If he doesn't, I can always switch him prior to Sunday. I think Hawkinson's fine. The only thing I'm questioning is putting McLaren in over like maybe Evans or maybe Evans. Hawkinson over Evans, like just to have him in there. But yeah. So yeah, I think I'm gonna have a good week with running backs at least. I think Taylor has a great week at Jacksonville, and I think Mixon has a great week at Dallas. Because we all know that Dallas defense is very good. May the odds ever be in your favor. We shall see. You know what I mean? You never know. It's showing that it's close. I mean, you came close last week, technically. You had a chance, but still didn't overcome the better team. So I think that's where your team falls. Your team's good enough. It just can't overcome the better team. You know what I mean? Okay, let's look at Ice Cream and Enders versus Honda this week. Enders Dodd is a 55% favor right now, with Honda being a 45% underdog. So we have he's starting Josh Allen this week, which is smart, versus Tennessee, which is interesting, right? Because Tennessee is one of Enders Dodd's teams. Okay, so he's starting him versus Tennessee, and then you have Pittman versus Cup, right? Or I shouldn't say it's not versus, but he has Pittman still in, even though he's questionable. Judy for Denver, Eckler. You know, I don't see anybody on Ender's side that could do horrible this week. You know what I mean? You know what he really needs? He needs like Waddle to overperform this week, and he needs Tom Brady to overperform this week, and then everybody else should to come in their solid spots. It's funny that he's holding on to his Green Bay defense. That's actually interesting to me. That Honda's still holding on to that. So now let's look at the last matchup. The sixth place and weakest team in the league. You have Mr. Staten RPGs over here. Not looking good, man. And he does. Kittle's questionable for game start, but it looks like he's going to start. So we'll see, I guess, right? Okay, so one win streak. Waiver 3, 4, and then he's 5 now, and Honda's 6. Oh, I must have been higher, and that just dropped me because Honda's gotten 2 moves, and I've only had 1 move. I bet you if I do another move, I drop to 6 in waiver. So yeah, that's where we're at. So, sorry. Staten RPGs needs. I don't see a chance for Staten having basically all his best players in to overcome. You know what I mean? He literally has all of his best players in. I don't even see anybody on his bench. He may want to drop Dallas defense. Actually, that could be the one thing that helps Staten this week. He could drop the Dallas. Again, it's only a league of 6 of us. He could drop the Dallas defense and pick up a better defense this week, I think. And I think he probably should. That would be a good move for him. Everybody else is coming in tens, which is pretty much normal for most leagues. Um, obviously you just know that against the Chargers, a division rival, at home, Mahomes is going to put up a lot of points. So, questionable means they're questionable. Means they have some type of injury. They may or may not play. More than likely, the majority of them will play. So like Fournette for Ender VR and Kamara are questionable, right? But more than likely they'll play. They're even projecting that they'll make points this week because they're questionable in the fact of they have, a toe injury or their finger got jammed last game, you know what I mean? So their thumb hurts a lot, you know what I mean? So they may not perform as good as they normally would, but it just means they're questionable for the game. Kittle, it shows Kittle making points this week with a questionable mark next to him, you know what I mean? I would say that what Stat needs to do, though, to make up some points ground on Ender VR is he needs to switch out Dallas. So, I think Honda has a good chance. And like I said, I put Lamar Jackson on the bench. I just benched him. And I put in Russell Wilson against Houston. I think, here's the thing about Houston. I don't think Houston's a great team. And I think they're going to get trucked by a lot of teams this season. And so I think Russell Wilson, again, this is Russell Wilson's second game of the season now. And he lost in the first game. I think he's going to come out trying to score a lot of points in this game, is my hope. So, and Lamar's on the road, even though I think he can beat Miami. To me, it's a toss-up. I just think Lamar in Miami could try to improve and beat Lamar. I just think that Russell's really going to beat Houston on Sunday. So, yeah, not my two favorite quarterbacks. But I hope they both play well. I hope that Russell Wilson plays better than Lamar. So that's all. I had to switch some stuff out. My kicker was putting 0 points on, so now I have a kicker that's going to put some points on. And against the Rams, we shall see. But he had 2 kicks from 50 yards last week. That's pretty strong. It's a good kicker right there. Okay, let's go try this game out. I don't know anything about it. Just saw it in there. Saw a little trailer for it. So, I don't know. Let's give it a try. Oh, here we go. Interesting. Okay. This interactive restoration emulates the Movala machines that would have been used to review this footage originally. Tilt the R in the direction to scrub the footage. Flick it to spin the reel in the direction. Spin several times to move quickly. Press A to pause.
Now you must be very excited.
I am excited.
Now you look very young in person.
People always say that.
You look what, 15, 16?
Maybe.
Can we tell the people at home how old you actually are?
Yes, I'm 20.
That is correct. And now we know you from the movie that you just finished shooting. It is finished. If you don't.
Image navigation to organize visually find a novel concordance feature. Okay.
Oh no, it's a bit of a fairy tale. So So Arthur Fisher, the great director, who you probably know from his movies such as Marion and The Man Who Dreamed, was casting for his new movie, Ambrosio. And so instead of casting a recognizable face, he wanted to find some fresh talent. So he put the word out and saw, how many was it? 10,000?
I think it was over 20,000.
20,000. He saw 20,000 girls. And long story short, he picked you.
Yes.
And you'd never acted before.
Not on the screen. I had done modeling and I liked theater.
That is amazing. I believe we have a short clip here. Do you want to tell us what we're about to see?
Yes, so I play Matilda, and, well, I don't want to spoil things too much. She's a young woman who sneaks into a monastery disguising herself as a monk. And then there's a lot of drama and magic and intrigue.
Okay. Marissa Marcel as Matilda, a woman disguised as a young monk. Here we go.
Oh my God.
The same magic that powers this lens can also grant you what you wish.
So, who are you?
Remember the night that I was to die, when we took to St. Clair Supper?
Mr. Fisher was quite the teacher.
Now I heard he can be quite demanding.
Well, you know, he has an idea.
Okay, I'm confused on what this game is. It just looked interesting. Image mode. Okay, so my guess is right. So what I want to do is I want to go back to the beginning, right, and see how there's like a little something. I don't know what I just did. I did something.
Stop your mewling, child. We are taking you into the depths of the earth. Surrounded by the corpses of our order, there shall you rot, lest you further offend our biddings.
No soul has been as penitent as I beg you to release me. I'm not forgiven for my unborn. Please.
Contrition seems genuine. Genuine? Have more guile, sister. Isn't
I don't know what I just did. Okay, we'll continue with this story. We played this a couple Thursdays ago, so we'll give it a try.
Good evening, sir. May I ask your name, please?
Louis Moras de Richer.
Monsieur de Richer, delighted to welcome you among us, sir. You must be Sarah de Richer's son. I must tell you we are doing our utmost to find your mother as quickly as possible.
What can you tell me about the disappearance of my mother?
2 weeks have passed since Sir's mother went missing. All the staff here have since been busy searching every nook and cranny of the island. But sir may rest assured, we shouldn't be long in finding her.
And just what have you found so far?
It would seem that Sir's mother may be hiding on the island and regularly changing her location. But no one seems to know why she would find this behavior necessary.
What do you mean?
On several occasions, we have found leftovers of food, a few of her things, or even traces of campsites. The reason why we're searching the wharf again is because lights were spotted there last night.
Where we are now?
Indeed, sir. According to our information, lights were seen in the middle of the night, sir. After verification, none of the guests seem to have left the manor last night. We think that perhaps Sir's mother was here.
Your skills give you access to unique choices and actions at the end of the effort points. The higher your skill level, the lower the cost of the effort points. Okay.
And did you find anything then?
We discovered a certain amount of damage, sir, on the wooden part of the wharf.
What type of damage?
Broken barrels, mainly. We'll do whatever is necessary to have them rapidly repaired. But quite frankly, I can't imagine what Sir's mother would have been doing with them.
What could Mother have been doing with barrels?
Nevertheless, our search of the wharf hasn't been entirely unsuccessful, though.
What do you mean?
We seem to have found an object that would appear to belong to Sir's mother. A handkerchief. The handkerchief is embroidered with the initials SDR. We came to the conclusion that they are the initials of Sir's mother, Sarah de Richer. I have orders to give it to Lord Mortimer as soon as I see him.
I know my mother. She's not the kind to go for a midnight stroll on the wharf for nothing. I've got to find out what the hell she was doing here. Where exactly did you find the handkerchief?
On the landing dock, sir. The one you arrived by.
Give me the handkerchief. I'll personally show it to Lord Mortimer.
Well,
I've traveled hard for several days in order to get here.
Yes, but...
Invited by your master.
No, of course, but...
Because my mother went missing right under your nose.
Sir, please.
And having only just arrived, you refused to give me her personal belongings?
Of course not, sir. It was never my intention to contradict, sir. Here you are. I must return now. is still much to prepare in order to welcome all the guests.
It is indeed your handkerchief, Mother. You must have come here for a specific reason. I need to know what it is. Let's think. What could she have been doing out here on this wharf? Wooden floorboard. Probably comes from this part of the wharf. The wood is slightly eaten away, of course, but it still would have been fine if it weren't smashed. Judging by the splinters of the wood, this floorboard has been ripped up. Yet it was in decent condition. I wonder why someone ripped it up. What's the point of doing this? Great, honey. A Latin inscription. En nessis, mi fili quantilia produncia mundus orgatio. There's no way I'm leaving without finding out about Mother. Looks like the barrel's been broken for quite some time.
Is this all the preview? This is what's done with the preview? I can't go up to the manor, basically. Okay, so I guess this is where. So this, I mean, this is basically just like a preview of the game.
A sack of seeds. It's unopened. No one seems to have used any.
Must be an incredible view from up there. Impossible to set foot on the island without being seen from 300 meters away.
Looks like a bar from an old gate.
So we're
This
gonna go back to the
miserable
gate.
bar has been broken fairly recently. The edges are still clean, and the tip is blackened. Without analysis to the contrary, I put my money on cannon powder. Looks like a bar from an old gate. This miserable old bar has been broken fairly recently. The
I guess
edges
I'll
are
just
still
take it.
clean, and the
Should've
tip
left
is
it.
blackened. Without analysis to the contrary, I put my money on cannon powder. This might just come in handy. Some rope. Apparently no one's touched it for a good long time. A lantern. Nothing special. Let's see what's hidden inside. Ah, one of the letters is stamped with the seal of the order. And I recognize your handwriting anywhere, Mother.
But who is this Samuel Ritter Dauchois? Who are you writing to?
I don't recognize the name. Let's see what's inside this letter. So,
Dear Samuel, my stay on Lord Mortimer's island is going wonderfully well. As I find myself in such charming company, I plan to stay a few more weeks. Would you be so kind as to send me a gift that I'd like to give to our old friend Manuel Godoy? I would be most grateful. I have been told that he's going to join us here soon. I would like to mark the occasion. Thank you in advance. Yours devotedly, Sarah Faustine de Richet.
What is your game here, Mother? Secrets, always more secrets. You don't talk to anyone using language like this. Something's going on here. Who is this Samuel Ritter? And for crying out loud, who is this Manuel Godoy that you keep bringing up? Think. Godoy. Manuel Godoy. Why does the name sound so familiar? I'm guessing he's a man of some importance. Spanish, I'd say. But just can't put a face to him. Well, hope we meet to talk about it soon, Mother. I don't know what you've gotten yourself into this time, but I'll bet you've got a lot to tell me.
Could you imagine back in time when you would take boats up, right, to like places like this, and it's like, you know, somebody's like great manor or castle. I mean, I would consider this, you know, castle-esque, right? And like in like shoes and outfits like this, walking all the way up there. Crazy. I've taken stuff like this. I was fortunate enough to go to Europe in 2019, and pretty cool to see stuff like this. Okay.
It's locked. I'll never get it open bare-handed. Clearly, I'm not much for manual labor. Let's see if I can get it open another way. There we are. This looks like a pistol case, but it's empty. I don't know if this has anything to do with you, Mother, but if it does, at least now you're armed. Just like in my vision. And none of it's telling me anything useful. This wharf is used as storage for a lot of barrels. Uh-huh. What have we here? It's cannon powder. It's unusable now. I don't know what the person who left this barrel like this had in mind, but it's a waste. Apparently, someone on this island has gone through a whole lot of trouble to arm themselves. I really must find you, dear Mother, and Amber.
So I had to do all that stuff first.
How did Mortimer manage to build his manor at the top of a rocky outcrop? Impressive.
Ah, my son. I was looking for you.
What can I do for you, Your Eminence?
I wanted to ask you. You are the son of Sara de Ricci, aren't you? You see, your mother and I were supposed to meet here on this very spot. I was supposed to hand her a very important envelope. But I haven't seen her.
If only Mother had told me why she was coming here. Anyway, I ought to take the envelope. It might have something to do with her disappearance. Listen, if it will help, you can always give it to me.
Confrontations. During a confrontation, you have to go through several steps while being as persuasive as possible. Confrontations have consequences on the rest of the story, so don't hesitate to use your skills. Each confrontation displays an interface showing how much the person you have talked to is convinced.
Thank you, my son. I'll bear that in mind. I'd rather deal with her directly. Don't take it personally. Would you happen to know if your mother has arrived yet?
Certainly, Your Eminence. Mother got here some time ago. I was hoping to find her when I arrived, but given the hour, she must be asleep by now.
Right. I shall see her tomorrow, then.
By the way, Your Eminence, I wasn't aware you knew my mother.
Ah, if you only knew, my son. I hold your mother in the highest regard. She has rendered great service to the church, and her help is invaluable. I hope that you will follow in her footsteps.
If only she had told me where she was headed.
Nonetheless, our exchanges have always been discreet, and I should like them to remain as such. If your mother wishes to speak to you about us one day, I will not mind if she does so.
That is very commendable. But since we work together on a daily basis, it's surely just an oversight.
Most certainly. You said you work together. What do you do exactly?
If you know my mother, you will understand that I cannot answer you, Your Eminence. I'm sorry, but...
Do not worry, my son. I perfectly understand, and I expected nothing less from you. Discretion and secrecy are both pillars of the organizations for which we work. You are the worthy son of Sarah.
All the same, it bothers me to see you in a quandary, Your Eminence. Is there any other solution? Look, if it's of any help, you can always leave your envelope with me, and I'll give it to her as soon as I see her.
I hesitate. Up till now, we have always dealt with her in person, and that has always been successful. Do you think I should give it to you?
Don't worry, Your Eminence. Your secret is safe with me. You know my mother's reputation. As her son, I will defend the de Richet's word with the same fervor.
I would expect nothing less. Listen to me, my child. If I give you the letter, can you promise me before God that no one other than your mother will read it?
Okay, confrontation, last step. For the last step of confrontation, you must convince the person you are talking to by giving them a positive answer. If you give a bad answer, the step will repeat itself until either you give a right one or you have no blunders left. The last step of conversation will repeat itself if you fail. No, thank you, no.
I swear by the Almighty God to honor the promise that no one but my mother shall cast her gaze upon your letter.
Good. Listen, let's stop there. I'm going to tell you a secret, Monsieur Delucci. Your mother and I are organizing the escape of a large number of French priests who face a massacre organized by the accursed Republican tribunals. The church is literally being bled like a beast.
Like a beast.
Without your mother, hundreds of men of the cloth have gone to the guillotine. She has made the services of your order available to us by organizing the priests' safe passage across the borders. Even if she does not share all our convictions, she always provided assistance. Young man, you can be proud to be her son. Be it only for her sake. Always respect your name. Here, the letter I spoke of. It includes a list of about 15 names ready for departure. Be quick. Remember to tell Sarah when you see her that time is short.
Well played. I'll decide later when I'm alone whether to look at what it contains.
Hidden elements. Many clues and items are hidden. Some of them will have an impact on your adventure, so do not hesitate to look for them. Ooh, here we go. Oh.
Saturn devouring his son. Good God, how awful. Everything in this painting is disturbing. It's the first time I've seen brushstrokes like this.
Interesting on this one.
Crucifixion of St. Peter. He was crucified upside down, out of humility. Surprising for an entrance hall.
Yeah.
Lord Mortimer certainly has a taste for staging rooms.
Blind Oedipus. Blinded himself. What a tragic destiny.
Interesting.
Fall of the Damned by Rubens. The man who cannot achieve the salvation of God the Father is offered to fall into the depths of the abyss.
Devil's Thorn grants you exalted state. You temporarily see the immunities and vulnerabilities affecting a dialogue choice, and it covers that you cannot carry more than 5. Okay. Cannot carry more than 5. Okay, cool.
Lives of the Noble Greeks and Romans by Plutarch, a biography of the great men.
Manuscripts allow you to educate yourself during the adventure. At the start of each quest, you can choose what to read and gain permanent skill points. Sorry. Okay.
I thought my chimney was big, but this one is beyond belief.
It's
Honda's
the least
favorite
one
part.
can say. I've been longing for a warm fire for ages.
Since I set foot on the island, I haven't ventured more than 2 yards away from it.
Have you also just arrived?
Oh, late morning, I'd say.
Louis, come join us. Monsieur, may I introduce you to Monseigneur His Eminence Cardinal Piaggi? He joins us straight from Rome.
Oh, just call me Your Eminence. It's simpler.
George Washington, President of the United States of America.
Delighted at last to make your acquaintance, Mr. President.
Pleased to meet you, Mr. President. Louis Moras de Richet. It is an honor to meet you.
Young man, let's keep it simple, please. Let us forget our fancy titles. Nice to meet you, Louis.
I should imagine you never thought you'd be in such company.
I must admit that I didn't. It's the first time that I've ever met so many illustrious personalities.
And you haven't seen anything yet. Generally, when Lord Mortimer organizes one of his receptions, there are over a dozen people here.
They can't all be here yet, and you'll see, most of the time there's only the upper crust.
And I noticed you were already getting to know His Eminence at the entrance. It's the perfect place to build up a network. What were you talking about, if you'll forgive my indiscretion?
At the risk of disappointing you, we weren't conspiring in our corner, sir. His Eminence was simply telling me that he knew my mother and how much he held her in high esteem.
It so happens that Monsieur de Richet's mother is to join us.
Oh, pity. No scrumptious gossip or juicy tidbits, unmentionable secrets, or even money matters. But you'll see, it will come. Despite all the goodwill in the world, you can't stop people scheming left and right around here.
Speak for yourself, sir.
Well, my friends, do any of you know the reason why we're here this time?
Not in the slightest. As for me, I've been invited by Sir Holm, a close friend of Lord Mortimer, but I do not know the reason why.
You see, Louis, every time Lord Mortimer organizes a reception, he always finds a moment to set up a chat with all the guests.
During which time we remake the world.
Accompanied by gallons of absinthe and cussing. I'll leave you to imagine the result.
So, if I understand rightly, Monsieur de Richet, you've come out here to join your mother. For what reason, exactly?
Like you, Mr. President, I'm here as a result of Lord Mortimer's invitation.
2 members of the same family here. That is rare.
You know what they say. You can pick your nose, but you can't pick your family.
Seriously, though, I know your mother well. Stay behind with me afterwards, and we'll take a moment to speak about her.
Good Lord. Washington is wearing the emblem of the Grand Master of the Golden Order. It's the highest distinction of the Order in the United States. It puts him on par with my mother. He must really know his stuff when it comes to the occult.
Good evening, my friend.
I gotta remember that stuff when it pauses like that. You have like
That's the man
10
from my
seconds or
vision.
3 seconds.
An urgent case has delayed our host, Lord Mortimer. He can't be present this evening, and he sends his deepest apologies.
He's asked me here and he hasn't even turned up? Great start. Do you know that man?
Sir Gregory Holm, an English aristocrat, very influential. He's also close to Lord Mortimer, so don't be surprised if he acts like he's at home.
And now, my dear guests, a light meal is served in the small salon. For those who would like to, you're invited to follow me into the next room.
My dear fellow, you must have read my thoughts. I shall follow.
We'll have to be careful not to make too much noise. One of Lord Mortimer's guests is relaxing.
Oh, we shall be quiet.
Don't take it the wrong way, Sir Holm, but I have already eaten. Thus, I shall be happy to remain by the fireside.
If you don't mind, Gregory, I should like to keep Mr. Washington company.
Please feel at home. And you, sir?
If I stay with Washington, we'll be able to speak about my mother. But on the other hand, I'd like to learn more about this home. I saw him in my vision. My vision is more important. Let's follow home.
I'll follow you, sir. Mr. Washington, I hope to speak with you at greater length on another occasion. Emily, please excuse me, but I would like to speak to Sir Home. I shall see you later.
My friend, I hope our dear Giovanni is well.
The troubles in France have fatigued him, but he will recover slowly. Do not fear. He apologizes for remaining in Rome. The voyage was too much for him.
And right he was too. The mildness of the Mediterranean, eh? Come, sit down and have something to eat, my friend. You look rather pale. Excuse me, sir. I have been neglecting my duty. I haven't introduced myself. Sir Gregory Home, an old friend of Lord Mortimer's.
A real pleasure, sir.
You who must be well used to the court of France. How do you find this peaceful little haven?
Charming, if I hadn't come here for disturbing reasons.
Yes, I heard the news. What a story.
Indeed. I wanted to ask you.
Well, BiTComms, that's where I leave you. We were more so... we were more so looking towards today, the fantasy stuff. We were going to try that other game out, stuff like that. But I hope you guys are having an awesome Thursday. Thank you for always coming here, supporting Biggie T on BiTCrew. Tomorrow, Bowtie Friday, don't forget. Also do have our food review tomorrow. Please remember that. Should be a lot of fun. I have a good matchup for tomorrow. But yeah, I'll catch you guys all then. You guys take care. And you guys know, dress to impress, even if it's for yourself. I'm BiGgyTV. This is BiGgyTV. Take care, BiTComms. Catch you in the next stream.